Hello there, once again. This is a sequel to the title of the video should indicate that this is part 2 of a two-part uh, series, I guess, or mini-series on using batch files for searching for things on your drive. So I would advise that if you just landed here, to go and look at the other one first. Otherwise, you probably won't be able to follow any of this. All right. Now, actually, there was a cutoff in the last video where I switched. I did a retake basically from one point, and that left a couple things hanging. For one, let's see now, where were we? I marked this, right? And we went to some directory. And then, or it didn't matter, no, we were anywhere, and I wanted to unmark it. And I said that now I've added a special thing to my unmark where I don't have to type in the whole thing. I can just say text or something, and it finds a match, right? But I still have the problem that if I'm looking for this text encryptor back in the path, I have to type the entire path, the entire full name anyway of the thing. I have to type text encryptor, all those letters, right? And I might misspell it or something like that. So what I failed to first show you was how this works. And then, as a final step, I would like to be able to apply that similar approach to the path search. So that means I won't have to type in the entire path name, file name of the thing that I'm searching for in the path. And I've already done it, and it took me a while to find the right sequence of operations, and part of it involved me having to change my unmarked thing as a test, to use that as a test. Now, again, it's back to 4. Now, what does this say? Marks %1. Okay, so if %1 exists, then if the name exists already, and that's probably not. It's not good actually, because it might be a double match. So I shouldn't really have that. That's not correct. So maybe I should just get rid of that for now. And it should work on the same logic and still find it. Okay, now originally what I had in here, I have to start from a new file. Just a minute now. It goes up to, now I save this 32. Is that what that says? And what's the date here? Okay. Second. Now this one, quite big. So either 32 has the current version, so I want to go, is it revert, I think. Try 31. This is a thing for my backups, is that I can revert to the state that my batch directory was at, almost anyway, when I took a snapshot. Okay, now this is the original thing I had for unmarked. So let me copy that. Move doesn't matter. Call it bold. Get rid of that. All these zips are incremental zips. It only zips up with things that have changed. And when I do a reversion, I just unzip them up to the from 0, whatever, up to the last one, always overwriting, so that every file would be at the most up-to-date point it was when this snapshot was taken. All right. I can use my edit batch file now for unmarked old. EB edit batch file. Now this is the way. This is still wrong. I'll get rid of it. One of the things I could, if you recall, for here. Let me just give you a quick overview of for. Okay, something simple. I need a text file. Okay. TS. Yeah, this one is 0. Oh, I think, yeah, it's just a left hangover. Something not too big. Well, I can order by size. Okay, TS console looks like a small file. Oops. All right. So here's a file that has 20 lines, right? Now I'm going to just do this at the command line. The /F switch works like this. It indicates that I want to do file parsing, and I want to use a variable called I, and at the command line only 1% time. Then I give the file name in here. So it was tscon, right? And then the next thing you have to say is do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say echo %i. See what %i is equal to. Well, in. There's in and do. In indicates where, and this is the file. Okay, so now you'll see what has happened. I don't know if I can do it line by line. We can try it. No. But it's a small enough file that you can see. Let's see now. Pragma, namespace, extern. This is showing what it's doing. It's doing what I asked it to do, echo %I, and in this one of the cases it was pragma, another case was namespace, another was extern, and so on. Okay? This echo is a great big long thing. Now I can't edit that file. It's read only. Let's call this, let's put it somewhere like some file, whatever, same file. So it should be here. Okay, it's not read only here. So we can edit it. Or we can look at it anyway. Now one of the things it printed out was the word pragma. You'll notice that that line has two things on it, right? And it only printed the one. So if I tried the same thing again, but I want more than just one token. Suppose I want two tokens. Now this is a line reader and tokenizer thing. There we go. I think this will work. Does everything have two only at most? I think so. Okay. Well, how about if what I do is I'll echo these two things out, the first and second token, and I'll redirect the result of that echo into a new file, which I'll call temp.text. Okay? Alright. Now, there's a file called temp.text. Edit that, and I better do a double. If I do a single, it deletes everything in the file every time. So that was an append. So here, this was there already. Doesn't count. So you see what it's done is well, this one had only one token. We got one thing. This had two tokens. We got two things, and so on. Each line has at most two tokens. And that's all there is to the file thing about using for and with a file. I forgot about the comma. So it's /F. Then you specify in quotations various flags. One of them is tokens. Then you specify the single letter that starts out the lettering, then the word in, and then in brackets some kind of specifier, and then do, and then the command, what you want to do with on each line, for each line. So it goes through each line and tokenizes and extracts tokens from the lines. Now that could be useful if you had a file that was organized in such a way, like a spreadsheet or something, and you know that everything is first it's one value, and that maybe the third value is always the person's name or something, right? Then you would say tokens equals 3. This is not a count. It means I would like this to return me the third token on every line in this file, right? And every time I get one, do this, all this stuff here. Okay. Now, here's the other thing. That works for files. Now, one thing you can do, here's a directory, right? There's a switch for the directory command called B, which gives you a list of files in a shortened format. And or there's of course the regular directory format. Right? Suppose I wanted to make a just a text file that listed only the lines that have this dir in it, right? And nothing else. So I want the directories, but only the directories and none of the files. I could use that tokenizer thing, the for thing, even at the command line. Well, not at the command line, but in a batch file, and I could ask if the third token is this string, right? Now that's maybe tricky with angle brackets. Then print out the line, and if not, don't print out the line. So now let's try this. T.bat. Oh wait, sorry. First, I want to go directory and put that into a text file. Dir list.text. Okay. So here's the directory listing. Now I'm going to use the for on that. I could do for do echo, and I want the third token. This should give me the third token on every line, right? No, we didn't see it. It went by so quickly. We edit the file. I'll put some near the bottom. Okay, so we should see some dirs. Should. Echo AM, PM, AM. Oh, fourth is the fourth one, okay. The third is, because of the timestamp, the third one has there's an extra AM, PM. So you see, it's giving me the fourth token on each line in that file, right? So if I wanted to print out just those lines, I could make maybe a batch file that would do that. Check to see if the fourth token is this string, and if so, then print out the whole line. Well, okay. See, that shouldn't take too long. Is dirlist.text do oh yeah, now there are two things. One is we can extract the fourth token, right? But what about the rest of the line? So what I would do is say tokens equals, we don't want to lose the rest of the line, right? So how about we say we want to get the whole line back. Tokens equals nothing. So let's have a thing that saves the line. Call some function. Sorry. Let's take out the delimiting part, and then we can have a thing that just saves the line first. Process. So process that line. All right. So now I can set the whole line equal to percent label 1. Get rid of the quotes. Okay. Now I've saved the line. Now I can use for again, and tokens equals 4, right? Percent. I'm going to use J because it worries me. They say that these I's and J's are global, so I don't want it to get mixed up. Or let's call it A. In. Now if I just say line here, that's a quoted string. Whoops, no it's not. I'd have to put quotes around it. But percent 1 is, that was passed in. Do. Now I want to check to see if it's if that's the letter, if that's the string set is dir line equal I can't do if here, unfortunately. I might have to call and do another call. Okay, I'll just set force token percent A, right? Okay. So now all this has done is it's treated this as a string because it has these quotes around it. And I've gone to the fourth token and just set it into this environment variable. Now I can say if fourth token equals, now it's going to have those wigglies. I think quotations will protect us. Otherwise, I have to do something else. Then I would like to echo that line out. Then I'm done. Okay? You see what's going on? I'm opening up that file. I'm going line by line, and then I'm not doing any delimiting for these lines. Instead, I'm passing the whole line to a function called process, which is assigning into a variable called line the full line with the quotations removed. Now I'm calling a for just for that specific line, right? Instead of doing the processing, well, I only have one line, so I'm using the same F version and using the fact that a quoted string is treated like a single line file, and I'm asking for the fourth token from that line or file, and the action that's being performed is to set a variable name called fourth token equal to the result. Okay, and if that result happens to be equal to that, if that string equals that string, I'm going to echo out line, which has no quotes. And before I do all that, I have to do the one important thing that I forgot before. That. And then I'm going to do this so that we don't see it all. We could see it all happening, but let's try it without first. See what happens. Let's see now. Alright. Didn't work. Let's just see if this works. I might have to turn the echo back. Okay, well, we certainly see that it's doing the comparison correctly. Cannot find the file specified. Set line equal to that. I see, I understand. Because the lines, it's because of these angle brackets. They're always a problem. Okay. So we can't do this bit. That's a problem because of the fact that once those angle brackets escape the quotation marks, who knows what terrible things we've done to this directory. We might have created 1,000 new files. It looks okay. I can just echo %1. It's going to have quotes. Oh. What the? I wanted to get rid of this line. Okay. It doesn't matter. That has. Here I've taken the quotes out and put them back. Here. This should be okay. There. Okay, we messed up. We got quotes. Oh no, we got a quoted result. See? Here's the beginning quote and here's the ending quote. Now, if I'm allowed, I don't know if I'm allowed, but I'll try. It might complain. Yeah, it can't do that. Because these things are redirectors, right? And so it sees a line here where after it expands this line, the things got out of the quotes, and once they're out of the bag, they can do bad things. Alright, but you see the idea, I hope. You check something. Okay. Unmark old. Now it turns out that I could have done that whole thing almost at the command line, because the for command has a special characteristic. That you can, instead of specifying a file here or a string, you can specify a command to execute, and it will treat the output of that command as if it were reading lines in from a file. Okay, so here what this line says is for in file, no delimiters, %i in this command. Now, %1 here is the thing passed in. I haven't checked for it. I should check for, put the standard empty thing. at least protect us from an empty thing. Should print a message. So now the command to be interpreted as lines coming from a file is directory brief format, which, as you saw, just gives the file name, and that's it. In the marks directory in my batch, with my batch files, %1, the letter sequence passed in, and then star, meaning, and anything else, dot back. Do, call something, increment, and here I've specified that the actual path, the full path of the result. This doesn't give us the full path. The brief format gives us just the file name, basically, right? Okay. So that puts us down here. So %1 in this case now is the full path of a file name, and here I'm incrementing a number which started at 0 by 1, and I'm setting an environment variable called match, followed by a number like match 1, match 2, match 3, equal to this here full path that has been provided, and then return. Okay, the next line says if the number of matches equals 0, there were no matches found. Otherwise, if it's 1, I'm going to delete whatever match 1 says and call success, which just prints a success message with a parameter of the name of the thing I deleted, and then I'm done. Otherwise, this thing has been accumulating matches, all of the same pattern, the letters M-A-T-C-H, and then a number, and each one of those is a match for the thing that I specified. Now I'm using the /L command. Now, /L is a numeric for, which is like counting out numbers, and it goes from, I think this is right, this number to this number in steps of this number. Or these two might be reversed, but I don't think so. I think it's start, step, end. Okay. Now, what do I want to do? I want to go from 1, right, to number of matches found, and I would like to echo out match 1, match 2, match 3, and so on, the contents of those environment variables. So therefore, again, the delayed thing is necessary. The exclamation points are necessary because we have a variable I being used, and I want to do a dereference of this whole thing. So I want this to be evaluated and turned into the word match 1, 2, 3, and so on, and then treat that as an environment variable, which it is, and print out the result. So that's how that works. So, okay, I'll use the old one, CP. See, it worked. It found using that method. It didn't have to create a special file to walk through. It created the file on the fly during the for. Okay, and in the case when there are when there's a lot of matches, these would have been accumulated. There would have been if I get rid of this, you'll see what I'm saying. This here set local means that all of the environment variables I create in here are local for this batch file, and they don't pollute my regular environment. But in order to show you what happened, I can turn that off, and unfortunately I'll make a mess of my environment. But oh well, too bad. Now where are they? Oh no, sorry, M. See, it created match 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then it just printed them out. Now, what else it created, I don't know. So I'll make a new box. Kill this one. And now in a new box. Okay. Now, I don't need to be here. Now that works fine, but what I wanted to test was if I could do this in a different way. And now the thing is with the path search, this is taking a while, isn't it? Well, I'm almost there. With the path search, okay, if we want to be like use wildcards for the search through the path or something, right? So it like notepad, if I type note, okay, and I want to search through the path for things that have all of the extensions, even in the extensions thing, that start with the letters note. Okay, that's the search I want. So I want to do a full path search for all matching files with the proper extension, starting with the letters NOTE, and print those out. I would have to somehow be able to the thing that FF uses at the end there. This thing doesn't take wildcards, right? I mean, it's a variable name and then a thing passed in, and the thing passed in can't have any wildcards. It has to be a precise name. However, there are ways around these things. And so I wanted to see, and I tested it in here to see if I could do it. Now, the problem is, you can't use the redirections in here. Okay. You can't use the arrows and stuff inside of a for. If it were a command, if we wanted to do a command or whatever, either command or file or whatever. So therefore, in order to stop, and this is crucial for this particular batch file, to prevent this from happening, I don't know. There's probably nothing called Allen in here. Oops, that's not a command. F, I mean /F. See this? File not found? That is being printed to standard error. Now, the way to, if I just did this directory command at the command line, I can get rid of that, usually, like this, right? If it were being written to standard out, but if it's being written to standard error, I can get rid of it like that. Okay, so if you recall the order of the standard files, the first one is standard out. First one, 0, is standard in, and 1 is standard out, and 2 is standard error. And then if I want to silence something going to standard error, I can specify in my redirection that I want standard error output to be sent to this special file, which is not a file, it's a device that does nothing. But I can't do this inside of the for. Therefore, I've got to do it outside of the for and create a file, right? And here, what I'm doing is I'm building a directory list, a directory listing, matching the file name .bat in the marks directory, and piping that into that output into a file, okay, and then saving that in some a global temporary directory, but taking the name of this program as a part of the name. And if the file, if the answer is file not found, then I'm silencing that. So I'm able to do a redirection command on another line that may or may not produce a file, okay? And then, so actually this should say, yes, well, it doesn't seem to matter with this file. If that file exists, now, no, I don't really need this use back anymore. Don't need that. Let's see if first, yeah, no, I don't need that. This is just a file now, and in fact, oh no, I do need to use that. Okay, now here I've got a file. It turns out that there are no spaces in this file, but I want to try and find a general answer. This file name may contain spaces. Yeah. So, like, for instance, this should really have quotes around it, right? So therefore, if a file name contains spaces, I've got to put quotes. But when I put quotes, that turns this thing into interprets this as a string. I don't want that. So therefore, I've got to turn off that feature by using this flag. You see how long this takes? I don't want any delimiters. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Well, it matters because these are file names, and the contents of this file is a list of file names, and file names can have spaces. So on each line in that file name, which may contain spaces, I want to do that call, and really this should also have quotes, And even though I know in this case there are no quotes, I'm going to put a wiggle there to get rid of the quotes. It should still work. What was it? U? Still works. Okay. Oh. Okay. Except the logo. It didn't create any extra thing. Now that's the proof of concept necessary in order, and I'm going to have to leave it as a puzzle because this is too long already. Okay. I can show you quickly. Now that that works, I know that I can do a search in a given directory for a type of file, batch files, right? So therefore I can do it for any extension, and so therefore my file find thing, I can do the same thing. And that's what I did. Process ext, process extension. Now I've created, I was having trouble with this, and for some reason I couldn't get the redirection working in it. So I made a few defines up top, thinking maybe that's the problem. It didn't help, but it doesn't hurt. The temp file, wiggle n0, that just gives you the name of the current file with no extension. And my temp documents is a system global. I define that at startup, and I added .temp to that, so that means it'll be ff.temp. This all ends up saying ff.temp, tmp, in some directory. Okay, where are we? Process X. If the temp file exists, I delete it. That's a critical bit, and I should have done it in the other one. Now I'm doing a directory /b. Now this bit I also should include in the other one if I don't need it. A minus D says to exclude objects that have the directory attribute, so only files. Curdir, if you recall, is the current directory we're working on. %1 star %2 is being passed into this way. This used to be all one string, but now I've split it up into two. This is the extension, and this is the file name. Okay. Now, tokens, delimiters, K. Okay. There's no worries about quotations because why is that? K is the first thing. Can that have spaces? What is K? And these are the extensions. Okay, so this is fine. It's got no quotes. And looking for has no quotes either. I'm not allowing it. If I want Notepad, I gotta type note. Okay, this is the thing I typed in, I passed in. This is an extension. None of the executable extensions have spaces, so neither of those have spaces. So I'm doing a directory command for anything matching this pattern. Current directory, if this was, let's say, the letters NOTE, note star dot some extension, redirecting that into a file, a temp file, and silencing the output, because 99% of the time in this case it's going to be a miss, right? The w.vbx and all that stuff aren't going to exist, and all you're going to see is a continuous stream of path does not exist. So it's critical that that works, and it does. If that if a find if something is found, it turns out, is not found, then it won't create the file. Now again, I need to go through that file, right, line by line, and just call that last bit that we already had on an actual file name, right? Not nothing with wildcard. I gotta turn off the quotation feature because I'm going to use quotes. I'm using the letter A because of paranoia. No, this doesn't have to be that. I could use file. This same thing. And the reason why I need these quotes again is because this temp file, well, I happen to know it doesn't require, but it might in general require quotes because it might have spaces. And then I'm calling process specific extension percent wiggle name and extension A. Okay, so this thing is going to contain full paths. Turns out, actually I can just echo them. I might as well just echo them out here. I don't even need this. Let me try it. Do. So let me just make a copy of this line. Because those what ends up in that file, what I put into that file are all of the matches that we're looking for. I'm just going to echo it. Echo percent A. And I think that should work. And then when that's done, it's done. Note. Okay. It didn't give me the full path. That's okay, because I have herder. Alright. I'm going to set found equals true. Oh, God darn it. Sorry, I didn't expect it to change. It works. I can revert it to echo set. Oh, is that okay? Right. If exist temp file /f move back in temp file no delimiters echo and set found equal to true. Then go to ELF. Okay, well, it doesn't. I'll go back to what I had to show you it working. I'm sure that I can do that as well. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see. Okay, let's darn it. Let's see what I did wrong. Yeah. Temp file. I'm trying to. I don't know. I've tried to echo a bunch of stuff into all these paths, all these files in the path. It's just %purge a set found equal to true, and that should do it. I don't know what I've done here, but I might have spewed a bunch of .tmp files all over my drive. The result of this directory command is just the file name, but I know what directory I'm referring to. Now I'm walking through the resulting file line by line, and I'm going to echo that current directory name and the line. Yeah. See? So I just had to type no. You know, if I wanted to, it might match more than one type of program. ed. So, there are two programs that start with the letters ed. That on my system in the path. I don't know. fi. Fine finger. You see? So now I have a way of doing like that wildcard search from the root of a single directory, but not a recurse directories wildcard search, but a walk the path wildcard search and return in the order the things were found. I don't know. See, here are a bunch of things in my path that start with a single letter is probably no commands start with the letter Y. Surprising. I don't I. Lots of I. Okay, see ya.